Friends, what if the animals that went extinct thousands of years ago suddenly came back? Just imagining it makes your heart beat faster. Friends, ever since humans made weapons, many animals started going extinct. But now, through science and their living relatives, some lost animals are making a comeback. In this video, we'll talk about 6 such extinct animals that are coming back to life. From selective breeding to genetic engineering, this is the story of a new era. So to know it all, make sure you watch the video till the very end. Number 6, woolly rhinoceros. These rhinos were the kings of the freezing cold Ice Age regions. Their skin was covered with so much fur that they looked like a walking coat of living fur. Their size was so massive that today's rhinos look like babies in front of them. These rhinos look completely different and unique. But when the Ice Age ended, the climate changed, and human hunting finished them off. Even today, their bodies are found in the icy lands of Siberia, so well preserved due to being frozen. But sadly, no powerful genetic material has yet been found that could bring them back. Friends, one way to bring them back is through the Sumatran rhino, which is considered their closest cousin. Through selective breeding, we can bring woolly rhino-like traits into them. Yes, the Sumatran rhino doesn't have thick fur, but if we tweak the genetics a bit and create a slightly furrier breed and keep trying this way, one day a woolly rhino-like creature might walk the earth again. Scientists have already created over 340 dog breeds through selective breeding from wolves. But here's the problem. If the Sumatran rhino population isn't carefully increased, it too could go extinct, and bringing back the woolly rhino will remain just a dream. Number 5, thylacine. Friends, imagine an animal that's a mix between a dog, a lion, and a kangaroo. Yes, friends, the thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger, looked exactly like that. The thylacine was the king of the forests of Australia and Tasmania. But when humans brought a hunting dog breed called the dingo to Australia, the thylacine lost its battle against this predator. The thylacine disappeared from Australia around 3,000 years ago. The small population that survived in Tasmania was hunted down by British colonists. The photos and videos you see now are of the last known female thylacine, who died in 1936 in a zoo due to poor treatment. But there is hope that the thylacine can be brought back. More than 750 specimens are beautifully preserved in museums around the world. Some baby thylacines, still in their mother's pouch, have been stored in ethanol. In 2018, scientists successfully sequenced the entire genome of the thylacine, meaning the complete DNA blueprint that determines what an animal will become. Interestingly, a small creature called the fat-tailed dunnart shares 95% genetic similarity with the thylacine. Now, using CRISPR technology, scientists are inserting thylacine genes into the embryos of the dunnart to bring the thylacine back to life. Soon, this unique creature might once again roam the forests of Tasmania. Number 4, ground sloth. You all probably know the world's slowest animal, the modern sloth. Today's sloths are cat-sized, but during the Ice Age, giant ground sloths, many times bigger, roamed the earth. For your knowledge, ground sloths were as big as elephants. They were herbivores who mostly lived in forests and grasslands. That's why we haven't found many preserved bodies or useful DNA from them. So the only way to bring them back is by using their relatives, tree sloths, and applying CRISPR technology to create something like a ground sloth. CRISPR is a powerful tech that can modify the genes of organisms. It's even believed that one day, CRISPR might be used to create superhumans. Number 3, dodo. How the dodo evolved from pigeons. We'll talk about that in another video. The dodo was a bird that had no sense of danger. So, when Dutch soldiers came to Mauritius in 1638, they hunted the dodo and started eating it. They also introduced predators like monkeys, rats, cats, and dogs. That's why, by around 1690, the dodo went extinct forever. But the good news is, the dodo is coming back soon, especially thanks to a specimen called the Oxford dodo, whose head is still in great condition. In 2022, its genome was successfully sequenced. Now, by using the Nicobar pigeon, the dodo's closest relative, and inserting dodo genes into its embryo using CRISPR, the dodo can be reborn. Number 2, quagga. At first glance, the quagga might look like a mix of a horse and a zebra, but it was actually a subspecies of zebra, known for its unique stripe patterns. When Dutch and British colonists came to South Africa, they hunted quaggas so excessively that by the 1880s, they were wiped out. In 1987, the Quagga Project began to bring them back. They started selective breeding with their closest zebra relatives, the plains zebra. So far, over 150 quagga-like zebras have been born, out of which 12 to 15 have been released back into their natural habitat. Number 1, woolly mammoth. The woolly mammoth is one of the most famous extinct animals in the world. But they weren't the biggest elephants. That title goes to the Paleoloxodon pneumaticus from the Indian and Pakistani region. What made woolly mammoths special was their thick fur, which helped them survive the Ice Age cold. When the Ice Age ended, their population dropped sharply. Humans hunted them too, even using their bones to build shelters. But one isolated mammoth population survived for 800 years after the pyramids of Giza were built. Even today, their fossils are found, and sometimes fully preserved bodies are discovered in Siberia. Once, scientists even found blood in a 300-year-old mammoth. In 2015, its genome was fully sequenced. Now, the Asian elephant, which shares 99.6% genetic similarity with the mammoth, is being used. By adding 0.4% mammoth DNA into its embryo, scientists are creating a hybrid. Through selective breeding of this hybrid, a mammoth-like creature is expected to return by 2027. Thylacine, dodo, and mammoth revival efforts are all being done by a single company, Colossal Biosciences. Friends, I hope you really enjoyed this video. For more such informative content, make sure to subscribe to our channel Echoes of Extinction and help us reach the goal of 10,000 likes on this video. See you next time with another informative and interesting video.